Hey guys, it's Pony here. This is how I use Deadlock to kill people in ranked. Here you see one of my favorite setups to do as Deadlock if the enemies have a really aggressive comp or just like play really fast. I place one sensor here and one sensor here so I can just chill behind bench and swing off it, as I've gotten util dumped a lot backside, so I couldn't really play there. So I needed to find safety. Anyways, they start pushing and Jet gets a little bit too aggressive, so I take her out. Help. After bullying Jet, Sova ults trying to force me out of safety. But that doesn't really matter, as Reyna can't kill me because she has bad aim and I'm better. So yeah. Then all I do is just play off my teammates, gravnet to the front of the side, and yeah, one is the round. That's nice. By the time you see this map is already long gone, but I will miss it. Here, I'm playing a bonus round against a team who's usually played a very split-heavy playstyle. So I decided to place one trip here and one here so that when they push from market, I can swing off of them being stunned and just play backside. Then I place my wall B main like this. A big tip for you guys is when the enemy tries to break your wall, like right as they break the wall, you want to throw your granite, as this usually puts them in very open positions. Then when they finally commit to the push, I just play behind the pillar like I do here, like a little rat, and swing in and around cover when they get stunned. And finally, I use my old default because I hear him planning default, and yeah, get an ace.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Deadlock. Good boy, Deadlock.
In this clip, we're playing attack on split, and after our Jet dashes in and gets cooked by a vice wall, we decided we need to put pressure on ramp and heaven just to even it out a bit. We spot Omen, but he managed to escape to vent, and I also managed to whiff my ult, which usually is a rare occurrence. Don't quote me on this. But anyways, we now know that the majority of the enemies are towards the side, so we decide to push vents, kind of like Among Us, and go to B. After walking up, Sage is already B heaven and she walls us off, and we're also getting pushed from vents at the moment. However, I managed to somehow neo dodge the race ultimate, and I'm like 1 HP right now, which means that I have to hit a headshot on the race. So will I do it? Of course I will. After taking out race, our Omen clutches up and kills Sage. Then I wall heaven and also place a sensor on CT so that if she decides to push out, she'll get stunned. Then after planning in the open, I place another sensor on the spike, because if our Omen manages to die or something like that and she taps the spike, I have a really big advantage. And well, our Omen pushes B main and manages to die to the device. But that's okay, because I'm still in control of the situation. She doesn't know where I am, right? So I can just wait until she taps the spike and walks into my sensor and swing off it. That's why Deadlock is so good in clutches. As long as you're able to be in control of the situation, you can force the enemies to walk into your traps, and then you can just simply play off it. After failing a B push, I'm left in a 1v4 situation against a really stacked enemy team. Whenever you're in situations like this, you need to try to rat your way into finding as many 1v1s as possible. Remember to take your time. It's not VCT. You have a lot more time in a round than you think. So well, that's exactly what I do. I push up mid trying to find a kill, and I managed to find an overpeaking Jet. Then I hear a Killjoy for some reason walking up B main, and yeah, it gives me another 1v1. After taking out Killjoy, I know Deadlock is short, which means that there's max one other player on B side that push up. However, a big mistake that I make here, which would have cost me the round if it hadn't been for my aim, was that I was very lazy clearing angles. Whenever you're in a clutch situation, always take your time clearing angles, please. And honestly, I should have gotten punished from the Clove here, but thankfully I do a sick flick and take her out. After taking out Clove, I know Deadlock is likely close mid, as she was in A short just a second earlier, so I will mark it just so I have a little bit more time in the round. Then I place a trip stairs in case she tries to push me while I'm planting. And one big tip as well is notice how when I'm planting, I'm looking at the ults, because I know Deadlock has an ult, so she might try to ult me, and well, I was correct. After juking her ult, I plant, and planting also gives me my final orb, so I just wait for her to make noise, and then yeah, Deadlock differ. Deadlock differ, what, bro? Yeah, dash. Here again, you see the setup I use when the enemy team has played a little bit too aggressive. I place a trip at the edge of the barrier here, and then one on the wooden box, so I can just sit back and relax backside. One other adaptation I do as well is I place the wall a little bit shallower than I usually do on site, so that they will have a harder time pushing towards my safe space. Then I just play off the sensor and take out Sova. Taking out Sova gives me my ultimate, and a really good ult lineup you can do is just to aim into the wall here, and that will hit backside perfectly. And then I just bait the ultimate and peek off of them trying to break it and take out both Reyna and Jet. A 2-for-1 combo deal. Nice. Here, you see my fairy ground lineup on Haven. This nets anyone standing A long and is really good for taking control of the space so we can push up. After we push up, the enemy is trying to contest A long. And a big tip if you're gonna try to defend A long or contest it is you need to make sure that you have util on standby, which can help you hold the space. Otherwise, you will lose it like they do here. However, our Jet for some reason pushes up, which means that we are in a 3v3, but that's okay. After ISO killed Jet, he will likely try to pick her weapon up because he had a bulldog. So I just hold the space like a hawk and wait for him to push up. Look at this patience, guys. Look at it.
Cypher was...
After taking out ISO, I see Cypher put a cage up, which means that this guy also was really hungry for a weapon. So I just snipe him with my ultimate. Finally, I noticed that the last guy isn't breaking my ult, which means that he could be sneaking up on me short, try to get a timing. And well, I was correct.
Nice!
We're winning this shit.
Michael.
In this clip, we're playing attack on Pearl. And when playing Pearl, I usually try to split push the different sides as it's really hard to take a side by pushing 5 people down the main choke point. After walking up art, I always try to grab at the box close to here so we can clear connector first and then be able to isolate angles since they won't be able to swing if they're grabbing it. Then, right before entering the side, I spot a wild gecko behind me, so I take him out. After taking him out, I noticed that it's suddenly become a 2v4, which means that I have to play a little bit differently since pushing onto the side right now would be a death sentence. So I decided to do a late lurk through CT to try to create an opening for me to take some 1v1s, as you want to try to maximize the amount of 1v1s you take in a man at disadvantage. After taking a killjoy, I noticed our Fate is getting ISO ulted, so I'm 99% sure that the 2 enemies are just camping her body. So I decided to rob them, take spike, wall behind, just so I'd be able to plant. Then I place a sensor here so that when they push after I planted, I get stunned. So right after planting, I get my ult as well. And you know how hungry these guys are for kills. So I just ult instantly. Then the clove walks right into my sensor. So yeah, goodbye. Bro then tries to ult, but that just gives me my ace. Easy.
Oh.
After losing our bonus, our team is in a dire need of a round win and money. So I do what Boney does best and win us a round. Our Omen gets cooked by a Jet who's probably feeling very confident right now. So I just hold his push. Then I go back up to pick up the spike. And after taking the spike, I noticed that I'm just all of a sudden in a 1v3. So I have to look for some picks, some 1v1s, you know. And that's when I spot Phoenix. After taking out Phoenix, I know the enemies will likely path towards where he dies because like that's where I was seen last, right? So instead of pushing into the unknown, I take a step back and chill for a little bit to let the map cool down because there will be a lot of uncertainties if I just stop making noise because they have to cover 3 bomb sites for 2 people, you know? So yeah. Then I go back to garage to grab the vandal and walk towards seaside. Here again, I make the mistake of not properly clearing angles, which causes me to almost die, but thankfully the vice whiffs. So when you're in clutch situations, take your time clearing angles, please. And since I don't have a lot of time and I know where she is, I decide to ult it. Because if I don't ult her, she's just gonna like rat behind the box thing to try to bait out the time, and that won't give me enough time to plant, you know? So yeah. After ulting her though, I hear Sova shoot the ult, and that means I know where he is, which is also another reason why Deadlock ult is so good in clutches. So I just hold the cocoon for a bit and then swing out and take him out. Easy.
One save. One contain. I can't push. Watching.
Sure.
Calm down. Next work down. Alone. Last alone.
CT.
One on one here.
Chill.
Bloqueando movimiento. Definitiva lista.
Wait, I thought you were knifing us like 119 on.
remaining.
Watch out for the judge.
Good trade, good trade. Go ahead.
One enemy remaining.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, please subscribe. Tomorrow, I'll be streaming for like 12 hours, I think, grinding the new act, hopefully in Immortal 3, and then Radiant by the next day. So, hope to see you guys there. Twitch.tv/Boney.